This is the Anker SOLIX F3800 portable power station. It turns a stressful blackout into a normal evening by quietly keeping the fridge cold, the lights on, and the internet alive without fuel, fumes, or noise. I would describe it as a portable home backup battery that blurs the line between something you roll around and a small home energy system. It makes the most sense for people who want serious backup power without committing to a wall-mounted whole home battery, for anyone who deals with unreliable power, or for folks who want to run real appliances away from an outlet. If you are just planning to top off phones and a small speaker on a camping weekend, this is more than you need. The physical presence is the first thing that hits you. It looks like a mini fridge crossed with a high-tech suitcase. The silver finish is clean and tough, the frame feels solid, and the whole unit has a confident, purposeful look. The telescoping handle clicks into place with a reassuring feel, and the wheels are large, smooth, and quiet. On flat ground, I can move it around with one hand. The weight is real, though. We are talking about roughly 132 pounds. I would not want to carry it upstairs alone. That bulk is not just dead weight. It translates into stability when you roll it over thresholds or across the driveway, and into a sense that it is built to take daily use. The top surface is flat and useful as a staging area for cables or a laptop while you work. Up front, the control panel clusters everything I actually use. The power button has a firm click. The display is bright, easy to read at a glance, and angled in a way that works whether it is on the floor or up on a low bench. The mix of ports matters. The 3 high-power universal serial bus Type-C ports are the ones I reach for most often, because they can fast charge a laptop, a tablet, and a phone at the same time. There are 6 household wall outlets arranged with enough spacing that chunky power bricks do not block their neighbors. There is a car-style 12-volt socket and a high-power outlet for larger appliances, plus a dedicated connector for home backup with the right panel. The protective covers for the ports feel sturdy rather than flimsy, and the cable management strap on the back saves me from making a mess. Setup was easy in a very normal way. I plugged it into the wall to wake the battery, as the manual recommends for lithium iron phosphate packs. It came to life quickly, the screen lit up, and the power readings and remaining time estimates stabilized within a few seconds. I paired it with the Anker mobile application over my wireless network, walked through the prompts, and was controlling it from my phone with no fuss. The application is simple. I can toggle the outlet groups, set charge limits, and see exactly what is going in or out down to the watt without hunting through menus. I like that I can put it in a garage or shed and still keep an eye on it from the house. I updated the firmware on day 1 and did not run into any glitches after that. Day to day, it feels responsive. Buttons do what they should, the touchscreen reacts quickly, and the time remaining estimate adjusts honestly when I add or remove loads. Power is where this thing earns its keep. Real output is what matters, and this unit delivers more than most people will ever use at once. The headline is that it can provide roughly 6,000 watts of continuous power. In practice, that meant I could run a space heater on high, my shop lights, a projector, and a laptop, and the display would settle around 2,900 watts with no drama. Fans spool up under heavy load, but the noise never crossed into annoying for me, especially compared to a gas generator. With my typical work setup in the shed, which is lights, a wireless router, a couple of fans, the projector, and my laptop, I was not even hitting 400 watts. That is your daily reality with a lot of electronics. They are nowhere near as power-hungry as a microwave or a heater. Knowing that buffer gave me confidence. I could add a fridge, a few more appliances, and I would still have room to spare. Capacity is solid out of the box. You get about 3.84 kilowatt hours. Putting that in real terms, it is enough to ride out an evening and an overnight outage with essentials running, without feeling like you are rationing every minute. With my fridge cycling, the router going, some lights, and my laptop, I went through a long evening, slept on it, made coffee in the morning, and still had plenty left on the meter. The neat part is how it grows. If your needs increase or you want multi-day coverage, the expansion path is straightforward. You can add extra battery modules without rewiring your home, and the whole system scales up smoothly. For someone who wants to start with a core unit and build out over time, that matters more than any single spec line. I spent a sunny weekend playing with solar. The included folding solar panel is rated at around 400 watts and feels durable. It is easy to prop up in the yard. On a bright day, I was getting steady input that made a real dent in the draw from the grid. It will not refill the whole battery in a short afternoon by itself, but it makes off-grid use feel feasible. The station can accept up to roughly 3,200 watts of solar input if you add more panels. That is serious, and it means that someone who wants fast solar recharging can get there by building a larger array over time. Cable connections click in securely, and the power tracking finds the sweet spot quickly. No fiddling, no babying. The most convincing test for me is treating it like a power outage drill. I flipped my breakers off for the living room and kitchen, rolled the unit into the corner and plugged in the fridge, the wireless router, a couple of lamps, and my laptop. I watched a movie on the projector, answered email, and never thought about it again. The lights did not flicker. The fridge did not complain. In the morning, I ran the coffee maker, then a toaster, and it handled both spikes. Another scenario that won me over was a small backyard project. I ran a miter saw, a shop vacuum, and a work light. The power station took the on and off surges like a champ. Outdoors, I appreciated that it is quiet and there is no smell. For a road trip test, I used it as a hub for an overnight in a friend's cabin that does not have reliable power. We charged phones, a tablet, and 2 laptops from the universal serial bus Type-C ports, and used a compact fridge, a fan, and lights without touching the expansion batteries. If you have an electric car, it can even trickle charge in a pinch with the standard household charging cable, which is not efficient, but it is a real safety net when you need a few miles overnight. The point is simple. I could throw real, messy daily life at it, and it just kept going. A few features add polish to the experience. Time of use mode lets me store cheaper electricity during off hours and use it during peak hours. It is not just a checkbox. It genuinely saves money in places where rates change throughout the day. Home panel compatibility is another piece that matters. With the correct kit and an electrician, you can connect it so that specific circuits in your house stay powered automatically during an outage. That makes it feel like part of the home, not just a gadget you wheel out in an emergency. The battery management system runs in the background, guarding against overheating and overcurrent. I am careful about where I place any large battery, and I still keep this on a cement floor in the garage, but I have grown very confident with it. Little touches like scheduled charging, charge percentage caps to extend lifespan, and remote on or off for outlets through the mobile application make it easy to live with. Anker claims a 10-year cycle life for the lithium iron phosphate battery. I obviously cannot verify a decade yet, but that chemistry is known for durability, and it lines up with how the unit feels. It is not perfect. The weight is the obvious trade-off. On a single floor or flat surfaces, the wheels and handle make it manageable. Stairs are another story. Plan where it will live and how you will move it before you buy. Storage takes some thinking too. It is roughly the size of a small appliance, and it needs a bit of breathing room for airflow. Solar charging with a single panel is more like sipping than chugging. To refill the battery quickly from the sun, you will want multiple panels, which adds bulk and cost. The home panel connection is not plug and play for a beginner. You will want a professional for safety and code compliance. That is normal for something this capable, but it is worth keeping in mind. I would also say that, while you could take it camping, the size and weight make it more of a cabin, van, or trailer solution than a tent solution. Who should consider this? If you want a real backup plan that does not involve pull cords and gasoline, and you want something you can set up yourself and expand over time, this is one of the most complete and approachable options I have used. It suits homeowners who want to protect their fridge, their internet, their work gear, and a few comfort items during outages. It suits people who spend time in places with unreliable service and want an energy safety net that just works. It suits makers, contractors, and event people who need portable, quiet, high power without asking for access to a wall outlet. If you can handle the weight and the footprint, and you value clean power, flexible charging, and a thoughtful application, it is easy to recommend. If you only need a light, small battery for hiking and weekend camping, you will be better off with something smaller and lighter. This is the Anker SOLIX F3800 portable power station, and it has earned a spot in my backup plan because it makes serious power feel simple and dependable. It looks like a mini appliance, it behaves like one, and it slides into everyday life more smoothly than any generator I have owned. I expect to keep using it for years, with the option to expand when my needs grow, and that confidence is the best thing I can say about it. To learn more about the Anker SOLIX F3800 portable power station, please check the comments section. Thank you for watching.